All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
Hope there's an echo there. But yes, we are about to begin the next race here for this awesome race between two talented fusion runners in Mikefood and Shmayd. So
Yep.
I'm excited. Baria and myself were two runners in this tournament as well. So we'll be commentating, and Baria will also have some more expert, takes on the tournament. Whenever I get anything wrong, he'll definitely help me out. So
Yeah. So Mike and Shmayd, their PBs are really close to each other. I believe they are 7 seconds apart. With Shmayd's maybe 8 seconds apart actually. With Shmayd's being the lower time at 1:14:21. So this should be a close race. Mike's been grinding a lot recently, improving pretty quickly. I think it'll be an interesting one for sure.
yeah, absolutely. And, personal experience with some of these runners as well. We've been in some of these casual races on the Fusion Discord multiple times. These two have grinded the game a lot, and got to give credit to where credit is due. I'm learning to be better because of watching Mikefood and Shmayd. And of course, it'll be interesting to just kind of analyze this from I guess a commentating perspective. This is my first time doing it, but I am still stoked to see where these two will go. Bari, what do you think will be the the point of contention, or the part of the run where there's going to be the most where there could be distance starting to grow between these two?
I have no idea. I think Mike's really unpredictable, and Schmade's been nervous during the tournament. So really, I mean, they could be really far apart by charge. We're talking like anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds, depending on how it goes. And then obviously there's RNG later on in the beginning and later on, that'll really could really affect that.
Oh, of course.
I'm expecting sack skip from both of them. So we'll see how that goes.
Will definitely be thrilling. Hopefully
we got the mic hand cam.
Perfect. Oh, is he playing on? Is that a Switch Pro controller or an Xbox?
No, it's an Xbox controller.
I see. And Shmayd runs on a GameCube controller, so they're both using different controllers here. This is interesting. Yeah. I play with a PS4 controller, so so this will definitely be fun. Watching the inputs, I expect some crazy. Mike, I know you hear me. I expect some crazy movements with your fingers here on this Xbox controller.
Yeah, Mike claw grips for some reason. He says it's more comfortable, which is pretty interesting.
There you go, practicing now.
There's only 2 buttons.
I guess
interesting choice.
And I guess at this point, when both of them are ready, right? I guess Shmayd is going to the bathroom real quick. Sorry, I shouldn't have said. Shmayd is taking care of business. Sorry, guys, that's my first time. But yeah, once everyone is ready, we will let you all know, and then the race will begin. You'll see those timers go off. And remember, this is the any % route, so both runners are going to collect as minimal items as they need in order to finish the game. So you'll likely only see 2 to 3 energy tanks or 4 energy tanks for both of these runners, and a very small amount of missiles. And we'll guide you through the way as these two get ready for the race.
Yeah, I believe Mike is going to have 50 missiles, and Shmayd will probably have 45, is my guess. Not sure about E-tanks.
E-tanks, I think, that one seems to be a bit more fluid when it comes to these races. I know for me personally, I go for 4, but I've seen people go for 3, some people go for 5.
Yeah. I think they both do 3 in runs and maybe 4 in races. Not sure.
All right. We've gotten the ready up for both of them, Shmayd and Mike. So race will begin soon. We're seeing the resets now from both of these runners. All right, and we've got the countdown. So in just a few seconds, we'll start to see the race begin. Good luck to both racers. They're friends of ours, so I'm gonna have I'm gonna be loving whoever wins either way. And yep, the race has begun, or it will begin, as you'll see shortly on the stream here. So
Yeah, this race is pretty interesting because they're so close together in time that like there's no real like clear, favorite.
yeah.
Could go either way. It's like a really even race. So, yeah. All right, got the countdown.
There you go. So as soon as the clock hits 0, they'll both press go here. They'll go through a little bit of some dialogue with Adam on the first chip here. It'll normally take around 13 to 15 seconds for these runners, and then you'll start to see the run. It'll be just like that. They'll be moving on to the next navigation room. An interesting point about this run, Maria, is how people handle this first climb. A lot of people do this first big, tall room differently. Some people rely on wall jumps off the platform. Some use the actual wall.
Yeah, there's like 3 main strats you can do here as far as I know. We just saw 2 different ones. Mike, they start the same, but Mike goes left side at the top and Shmayd goes up the middle. And then there's the left side like triple wall jump that you can do there that we didn't see.
Yep. And you'll also see them a lot of the time too. Obviously, a lot of runners in chat, you might be familiar with the terminology, but for those who aren't, every time you see these runners shoot when they're grabbing or when they're approaching a ledge, it's to, how do I describe it, Varia? It's to kind of reduce the amount of frames that show Samus moving to reset to move faster. Is that
Yeah, I believe your hitbox is smaller when you're spinning, so when you break spin via shooting, it extends your hitbox down to the ledge earlier. If that makes sense. So like you just extend your hitbox in an instant and kind of snap to the ledge. You can do the same thing, breaking spin by pressing like up. It's the same exact mechanic. Not sure if Mike is having stream issues or if they're just trying to sync.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of syncing here. I know that can sometimes happen with the races. All right, so Mike has confirmed, I guess his stream did go down temporarily, or he said stream back. Hopefully this doesn't change much. There might be at least some sort of a fiddle with it, but at least for the moment, I guess we're going to continue for now. Shmayd is still running up to the main operations elevator here, where he's going to go up, watch a brief cutscene of Samus monologuing, and then grab missiles, the first power up of the game. Hopefully, we'll see Mike Food's progress soon.
Shmayd had a pretty decent missile segment here. 216 at the elevator is pretty good.
Yeah, that'll likely be sub 250 on the missiles here.
Yep.
Ronald says he's at work. Y'all enjoy? Oh, I'm excited. I'm already enjoying this race. We got 249 missiles for Shmayd, if you count splitting at the beginning of the melody, which is what some people do.
Yep. That's what he does. Oh, Mike, his stream is back for now.
A little bit of some desyncing here, but Mike, at least even though the timer's a little different, he got his missile a second earlier. So even though it appears that Shmayd is ahead, once the runs sync together, they're going to be a little closer than they actually appear.
Yeah, I think they were about even. Maybe Mike leading by a second. I didn't quite see. Yeah, he's definitely dropping a lot of frames. Anyways, Flash Shmayd collecting the first 2 missile packs. Gonna come up to the eye door, see what kind of RNG he gets. Wow. So he got a double missile and got no beams. So that's like an optimal eye door right there.
Yeah, if you could get into this arena before 4 minutes, you're normally going to have a really good Arachnus time. And yeah, we're now seeing Mike approach the eye doors as well.
Also gets 0 beams as far as I saw.
Yes, 0 beams, but missed the double. So it took an extra cycle, but overall still a really good time to, again, get into the arena before 4. Gotta love when the first 2 eye doors are friendly. You know, I feel like the reputation is that the charge beam eye door tends to be the worst in the game. That'll be the next one that we approach.
Yeah, that's the worst because it's the same as the morph one, but it's harder to double. So both had pretty good morph times. They just fought Arachnus, the first boss in the game. It's can give some bad RNG if it does its roll move. It definitely loses some time. Yeah,
so it does look like, at least according to these timers here, Shmayd is just barely behind mikefood. So as expected, these guys, these 2 runners are well within pace of each other. Now at this point, there's going to be another dialogue with Adam where he'll guide Samus to Sector 1. So there's going to be a little bit of a slower pace here, but shortly after Sector 1, there's going to be a lot of intricate movement. And one of the things that we'll talk about, especially in Sector 1, is not getting hit, because you want to rely on drops here. And unlike other games where there's a probability, like a specific set probability with drops, you will always get, or have a higher priority, at least it seems, and correct me if I'm wrong, Baria, where if you're low on missiles and you have full health, you'll get missile drops more often than not.
You'll get missile drops every time.
Exactly. So both opt for that navigation room missile. So they want that extra safety in case, I guess, they do get hit in Sector 1.
Yeah, that missile makes Sector 1 a lot less volatile. If you get hit, you're generally pretty safe and will have enough missiles to defeat the eye door before charge. If you don't get it and you do get hit, you really have to manage your resources, and you'll generally lose time trying to do that. There is like one good opportunity to farm, but it's just a bit slower.
Yeah.
That space pirate fall ballroom is a good spot to farm.
All right, so Mike enters the navigation room. A brief dialogue essentially explaining that there are 5 areas here where the X are essentially kind of, they're multiplying in these habitation zones, and so it's Samus's job to essentially destroy each stabilizer that's being infected. So you'll see these runners go into 5 rooms, fit 3 missiles on each core, and then move on to the next room. And as she's doing that, she'll go into different corridors, as you'll shortly see. And again, it's crucial here to try to have high health or full health throughout the entirety of this segment, because you'll want to get as many missile drops as you can.
Did you say 5 missiles per stabilizer?
Did I say 5? I meant 3. There's 5 rooms, 3 missiles per stabilizer. Goodness, could you imagine if it was 5 missiles? Oh,
that'd be horrible.
It would be awful. This, I don't know if I'd be running this game.
Yeah. Let's see, Shmayd made a little mistake in the Hornode room there. His health is still pretty good, though, and he got those missiles on main deck, so should be alright. Taking another hit. Mike also taking a hit on the way down in the space pirate room.
Yeah. Now,
Shmayd's health is very scary.
Oh boy, that's, yeah. He took multiple hits here. There must have been
3
sort of
on the way down.
One thing about the space pirates is, especially the ones you find early, it's their projectiles do less than actually coming into contact with their, with them. So as a result, if you run into them, it can, especially on an any % run where you only have 1 energy tank usually, your health can drop like a rock rather quickly. And Mike, he got hit by a projectile, so he only took around 15 damage. Shmayd took around 150. And so that's why he's very low. And he's got to be very careful in this pirate climb room coming up.
Yeah. I just hope he doesn't have to farm. He could... Nice. Okay. He's safe now.
There you go. 5 missiles is good. And still low energy, but it would take an immense mistake here, I think, for Shmayd to really drop. So I don't think he will.
It looks like Mike had a tough time in the pirate climb room there.
Yeah, the first projectile from the pirate did knock him down, so it disrupted his jump. But see how the eye doors treat him. 1 beam for Mike, 1 beam for Shmayd, 2 for Mike, 3, and this is why we hate this eye door in particular.
Yeah.
Yep, because Mike was ahead, but now he had to deal with the beam shooting. At, what was it? 2 more beams than Shmayd, if I'm counting correctly.
I think so. Yeah.
That makes a difference. 5 to 6 seconds.
This is the charge beam core. The idea here is to get 2 doubles. It only takes 4 missiles, so I guess it's a good opportunity to just kind of explain double missiles. It's basically you just want to line up the missiles so that they hit the target on the same frame. You can do that in various ways. For example, with the charge core, we jump and then shoot while falling to have them kind of catch up to each other. For most of the regular core X's, we'll fire a missile and then jump and fire another one to like catch it up, line them up. And then for the eye doors, which are a bit tougher than like core doubles, we do like a jump and then fire a missile and spin on the same frame, and that'll like you move forward when you're spinning, so you fire another missile to line those up.
Yep.
Luckily, you only have to do double missiles on the eye doors at the first 2, because once you have charge beam, you can one-shot the eye doors.
And the main reason that is because the Ghidorahs, or the eye doors, they have, what is it, 25 health, right?
I'm not sure.
Well, essentially, the charge beam...
the charge beam does 26 if you hit all 3 pieces of it.
And the charge beam is, at least in Fusion, I don't know if it's the best in all of the 2D games, but in Fusion, the charge beam is very strong. Those 3 parts that Barrio was talking about, each one has damage that they unleash. And if you're up close and personal, you're going to do the most damage possible. So now that these 2 runners have charge beam, if they get up close and personal with these eye doors, or frankly any enemy that can get hit by the charge beam, they're going to do more than if it was just a charge beam from distance. So if they can if they don't get beamed to death by these eye doors, they can mitigate the time loss a lot more. And that's why normally once you get past this first big boss, the charge beam, it's not hard. It's more annoying for runners of this caliber because they are losing time that they wouldn't otherwise lose. Now they don't really have to worry about the quote-unquote RNG so much. Now there's still going to be instances through the run, but it's a lot more bearable, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. So looks like we got through Sector 1 okay. I was very scared for Shmayd with the 23 HP thing. But he came out ahead.
Yeah. And something interesting to note, Samus takes a lot of damage before her Varia suit upgrade later in this run.
Yeah.
Sector 2 is not friendly either, so hopefully there's no repeat of the near disaster that happened in 1. And so far, Shmayd's moving pretty smooth.
Yep. Yeah, these red enemies, the Zoros, hit for a lot. They do a lot of damage.
Great doubles on the Zoros there, heading into this little climb room before the security. All right, overall good pattern with the Zoro there and great wall jumps. It's really good if you get hit by nothing on the way to both security and bombs, because it's anytime you get hit, you're pushed back. So you're automatically losing time the moment you get hit. And it may not seem like much, but these hits, they add up very quickly. So
Yeah, they push you back and just kill your momentum. It's not like a horrible time loss, but it is really annoying.
Absolutely, especially.
Shmayd just hit the frame perfect jump up
There you
to that
go.
ledge. Hopefully Mike's stream pops back up any
Yeah.
second.
I'm checking on his channel right now just to see what's going on there. And we do apologize for any technical difficulties, those watching. You do have two people going live from different locations here, so sometimes this is just going to happen. But of course, we'll commentate to the best of our ability. It does look like his run is still live. Yep, there
Yeah,
you go.
he's back
Perfect.
Making our way down to the depths of Sector 2 here. A lot of fun movement. You'll see the runners kind of placing bombs and then like rolling away and rolling back. They're actually like getting acceleration. They're getting to like max speed so that when the bomb explodes and breaks the block, they're like at max acceleration through the block. So they are like actually timing that. It's not just for looks.
Not just moving around as they wait for notoriously slow detonating bombs.
It does save. Yeah, it does save frames.
We have a comment from another runner on the chat, Thunder here, who's saying, "Mike, do the good jump." That is a joke that we'll get to in just a bit.
It's not a joke. It's a real strat.
It is a real strat. Its basic name, the good jump, is just why I find it so hilarious.
Yeah.
Incredible.
All right, so they're both grabbing the E-Tank, which is probably smart. Shmayd getting some beams, Mike not getting beams, and all of a sudden Mike is ahead.
And this happened earlier with the charge beam core where Shmayd got ahead. So it seems to be evening out. Overall, I mean, their screens are almost identical, give or take a few seconds. Really.
Yeah, it's just a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
So Zazabi here, the bonus that gives us high jump. A lot of RNG here. Can lose a decent chunk of time to him just jumping around over and over, wasting your time.
Yep, that's the thing.
Mike gets the double.
All right, here he goes.
He does.
There we go. Very smooth movement there. Beautiful. And he kills the core X close to the middle of the arena, what we call the sweet spot. Because if you notice, as these X parasites are maneuvering to the center of the arena, they flash. They're essentially invincible. They can't be picked up. So if you can kill that thing closer to the center, you're going to have a much better time overall. Not having to wait for the X to spawn. Right, here's a big point in the race, Baria. You and
I'm expecting a sack skip from both. I think they're both going to go for it.
All right, let's see Mike Food. He's going to do it first, setting up the missile. All right, chat, here it comes.
He hits it. Perfect.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. Now, Shmayd immediately on his tail. Will he hit it as well?
He does.
This is high-quality fusion, folks. I'm telling you. You tuned into a good race.
So that's a tough trick. It's not incredibly difficult to pull off, but it's very deadly if you make a mistake there. You'll just die instantly if you don't back off right away once you realize that you messed it up.
Yeah, it's interesting how the SAX works. If you touch her, I don't know. It's a lot more damage than any of their total energy. It does.
I believe it's 500 damage.
It's 500
on normal mode.
So even if you were playing on 100%, which would mean you would have 4 energy tanks at this point, that's 499. You would still die.
Right.
And it's funny because that's just touching her. If she freezes you with the ice beam and hits you with a missile, you're still alive. But if you just make contact with the SAX's body at any point, it's very, very bad. It'll kill you in this first skip, and in future skips, it'll do an incredible amount of damage. But good to see that the run didn't just end here. That would have been a buzzkill.
I figured they would both go for it. I think they both said they would. before, so cool to see that they both nailed it, and we still get to watch 2 runs.
Yes. It's very scary. Again, like you said, it's not the hardest thing, but it is quite scary. I wouldn't say it's hard because I can't do it, so it's hard for me. But for someone like you who does the trick, you wouldn't say it's the hardest, but it is easy to mess up, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. You can morph just a little too low and it won't work, or
Yeah.
if you don't stall, it can not work, or it's just stuff that can go wrong.
There we go.
Even if you're pretty consistent.
All right, so we are approaching. All right, we'll go on.
I was just basically gonna say what you're about to say.
Yes. We're approaching Ceres, the next boss in Sector 4. This will give them the speed booster. Ceres is... I'm a little biased here with my commentary. I hate this boss with a burning passion. If anyone has watched me in my races, I have not had a perfect Ceres at all during this tournament. Might be nerves, but
Yeah,
we'll see how these runners do.
Ceres is interesting.
Ceres
You can two-shot Ceres, so
exactly.
and that's what we always try to do is kill it in 2 shots, so we get the charge beam with its 2 projectiles and hit it point blank, so that the flare, which is the third, damaging part of the charge beam, also hits. You need the flare to hit, which is that little flare that comes out of your cannon. You'll see. So you need to hit all 3 parts twice to kill Ceres in 2 rounds. Also, Ceres can give you patterns that you recognize, and also patterns that we call troll patterns, where you don't know what Ceres is going to do. You have to really react or just wait it out, and that can lose you quite a bit of time. Or if you try to react, you can make a mistake because you weren't ready for that pattern.
So far, Mike gets the first flare shot, which is normally the easiest shot to hit here. Shmayd gets it as well. 2 shot for Mike, so easy Ceres for him. Let's see if Shmayd can hit this. All right. All right, so they both do what I failed to do. And again, like you said, it's not hard. It's just sometimes if you react any bit late, if that flare doesn't connect, it's not going to do the maximum amount of damage it could do, and therefore slows down the fight considerably. And
yeah, you can lose a lot of time by going more than 2 rounds, and if you get troll patterns as well, you can lose 20, 30 seconds if you really mess up the fight. They both had good fights.
Yep.
They both had pretty good core fights. So we're just still trucking along. It's a close race still.
It is.
They're about 1 room apart, which is nice to see. Making our way over to lower the water level now, so we can escape the sector, and that's all there is to Sector 4, pretty much.
They're going to probably do a low height here. A low height spark, which is where you do the shine spark and shoot your Samus forward, up, or left. They're going to try to get as close to possible to the bottom of the ground here in the next 2 rooms. Mike is about to do it right now. Shmayd is likely going to set it up. And if they do this, they can actually just spark through an area where they normally would have to reset their speed boost. So Mike hits it and Shmayd misses it. So that's going to add, a few seconds for Mike's lead here.
Yeah, it should be about 2 seconds.
Now, it may not seem like a lot, 2 seconds, but for runners of this caliber, it really is not hype to say that every second counts. So if there's a time save that these 2 runners are capable of doing, odds are they probably will. They're both obviously aware of each other's skills, so there's going to be, I feel like, that willingness to take risks on harder strategies. And we already saw that with the SAX skip, and we saw that with both of the attempts, at least, to do the low heights.
Let's see. Gonna see where the how big the gap is.
I'm trying to do the math
About
here.
8 seconds.
8 seconds? Okay. Very makeable still. But
yeah, that's basically nothing in a race.
It's honestly kind of interesting. Watching them synced up like this. Again, like Baria said, it really is short because watch, as Mike leaves the elevator, Shmayd's entering it, and an elevator cutscene is around 7-8 seconds, give or take one. But like that's it. So at this point, it could be something as a simple mess up on a spark, or maybe a boss cycle goes wrong, where the race can immediately switch to the other runner here, and yeah.
All right, making our way into Sector 3. We're gonna open up some green doors, fight a robot.
Just a robot.
Upgrade our missiles. Yeah.
Nice spark by Mike to get into the green security room. Shmayd's doing a slightly different strat, but both pretty effective at getting there.
I'm not sure how it works out, like with which one is faster. I thought the one that Shmayd did was faster, but that might be wrong.
It feels like it's frames of difference, right? Like this is one of those tighter.
They're pretty close as far as I know. I think the one Shmayd did is faster if you do it optimally, but I might be wrong. Anyways, Mike just did a shine break, which is when you break a speed booster block on the ground by just speed boosting and storing your spark right after. It's a pretty tight trick. I think it's a 2-frame window to do that. But that allowed him to save a little bit of time by shine sparking up that shaft, whereas Shmayd had to climb the ladder.
Alright, so we have 20. Let's see, was it 25:37 at the start of the melody for Mike Food on that?
Close to that.
Yeah. So Shmayd's about, say, 13 seconds behind at this point. Again, they're so close to each other, but there is a little bit of a spread in the distance. I honestly wouldn't be alarmed at this point, but it's just interesting things to keep track of. As they move from sector to sector, what's the distance gained or lost here? Mike Food going for the quick box kill strat, where you essentially jump on top of this thing and fire as many missiles as possible while tanking hits. And he got it done pretty efficiently. See if Shmayd can repeat.
He got a 3-round. Did Shmayd get a 2-round? Did you notice?
Yeah, he did get a 2-round.
Okay. So Shmayd actually just made up a good couple seconds there if he did get a 2-round. The 3-round, it barely saves time over the normal strat, whereas the 2-round saves, I think, 3-ish seconds. Once again, if I'm wrong about a time save, that's my bad.
Yeah, if there's any of the other experienced runners in the chat, feel free to correct us if you know the answer there, because we see the familiar names by all means. But overall, yes, loving what we're seeing here. This is about 7 splits worth of the run so far, and these two are very close. So next up, they're going to go to Sector 6, which is a fun sector, right? I would say it's fun.
I like Sector 6.
You do like Sector 6?
Yeah.
Isn't your favorite Sector 5 though?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what my favorite is. I think it's lower 4 when you revisit after getting the gravity suit.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that part of the game is my second favorite.
That is a very fun part. But essentially, now that they're going to 6, so each sector, for those who may not be familiar with how the game operates, there's 6 different sectors. Each one represents a different environment. So Sector 1 represents SR-388's environment. Sector 2 is tropical. 3 is fiery. It's a lava sector. 4 is water. 5 is ice. And 6 is darkness. So they're going to go into the nocturnal sector and fish their way for a suit upgrade while avoiding X from the ice sector, who are actively hunting them. You don't want to get hit by these blue X under any circumstance.
No, They do a nice amount of damage.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And so we're seeing mikefood enter, a nice little door fix here. Gets all the bats dead. Well, I wonder, does he go for this missile here? I'm not familiar with Mike's route here. Okay, so he will.
Does. Yep.
All right.
And then I believe Shmayd skips this missile, so he's not going to bomb the wall there. Yep.
Yep, he does skip it. So runners, what this is going, or chat, what this is going to do is the runners are going to differ with missiles here, and Shmayd is going to gain a few seconds upon the exit of Sector 6, just because it's a missile he doesn't have to worry about, while Mike seems to be going to get it. Now, that time will be made up, because that means Shmayd will get an item that Mike won't get. So it will even out a little bit. I mean, technically, there is a bit of time difference, but overall, it's runner's preference here.
Yeah. I do believe Mike is going to get 50 missiles, though.
I see.
And Shmayd will probably get 45, so Shmayd does do a faster missile route. The 50 missiles makes Notori a lot easier and more consistent, and a little faster.
There's give or take everywhere, and when we get to Notori, no doubt we'll explain it again, but it's called any percent for a reason. You don't have to get a certain amount of items. That's for 100%, which is quite honestly a fun category, but in Fusion, it's a very long grind.
It's a long run.
Yeah. Any percent runs are average. What? Average is a little weird to say, but of the top runners, I'd say anywhere between an hour 10, an hour and 20. That's what you're looking at. And there's a lot of runners placements in that 10-minute window.
Yeah.
While as for 100%, it's about 30 extra minutes added on top of it.
Yeah. So we got the Varia core here. Our goal is to hit it with the charge beam 4 times. Looks like Mike's getting a 5-shot fight.
Yeah. Shmayd is on 2, 3, 4. All right. So, wow. It's incredible. They're both on the yellow phase of this core.
This is a close race.
Shmayd missed a double.
Yeah.
But wow. This is incredible.
Very close.
Honestly,
Shmayd did make up some good time there in Sector 6, so
very good movement.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
The escape from Sector 6 is pretty volatile. It is really hard to do this segment consistently. Shmayd just got bad puffer RNG. It was in a really awkward place, and there's no real good way to deal with that one as far as I know without losing a little bit of time.
Puffers they're probably the most hated enemy in the game, I would say, right? They are pretty annoying.
Some people hate waivers a little more, but
yeah,
I think puffers are worse. But both had pretty good escapes. It doesn't look like there were any major issues at all. So
yeah, the puffer definitely gave Mike some fits on that missile there.
Yeah, so there's Shmayd reaping the benefits of skipping that missile. He's now ahead.
He hits Nav at 32.03. Mike hits Nav at 32.0, likely 9. So 6 seconds is the difference there. And
this is a real good race so far.
Yeah. It feels like watching an NBA game where they have the announcers read the stats of lead changes. There's been at least 3 or 4 so far with these two runners.
All right, now we make our way over to the best sector for the first time.
The game loves Sector 5 so much. You go there 3 times on any percent and 4 times on 100%. So get used to seeing Sector 5.
Sector 5 is cool because the first couple visits, there's no boss there, and there's a lot of cool movement to do. There's like a lot of ways to optimize Sector 5, and that's why I enjoy it. It's like a challenge, and the whole game is like a challenge, I guess, but I would say it's especially challenging movement-wise, and when you pull it off really well, it's really feels really rewarding to just, you know, deal with the enemy patterns and whatnot.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of patterns that the waivers have that you have to deal with if you don't want to lose time. Shmayd having a bit of trouble with the entry there. Mike gaining a few seconds on him, it looks like.
And there it goes again. It's less than a room difference. Let's see how they handle the giant glass room here.
They both missed that really tight wall jump. That wall jump can be deceptively difficult. Both getting hit by the same waiver.
The same waiver. That is beautiful. Oh my goodness.
That's probably the hardest waiver to deal with in the whole sector, I would say. You can deal with it and not get hit. You just have to really be ready for it.
Yeah. They both handled the spark really well as well. Both got slightly different patterns, but again, I mean, aside from that one waiver that just kind of popped into view there, they're avoiding most of them. And with runners of this caliber, you would expect very little hits from these waivers. So overall, pretty good. Now they're about to open the yellow doors. They're increasing the security level as they advance through the game. Each time they go into a security room, which they're both in right now, it furthers the plot, but it also allows you to access areas that previously were inaccessible.
Yep. And it also, in some instances, allows the X to get into the sector for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like in Sector 3, apparently the X, I don't know. They can phase through walls, but not
doors.
Colored doors.
I'm telling you, they're allergic to green. It's very interesting, but you know, as a child playing this game, I thought the same thing. I was like, really? Why are they not everywhere at this point?
Just a couple seconds apart.
Amazing.
So we got ice missiles. So now with ice missiles, you can freeze enemies, but things that you could kill in one shot now take 2 shots.
Yes.
So it's kind of a trade-off.
And that might give off the impression that these missiles are weaker, but when it comes to boss fights, they are actually a decent bit stronger.
They do more damage, but for regular enemies, you gotta freeze them before you kill them.
A little bit of a disruption there with the waiver by Shmayd. I was gonna call Mikefood your name for a second, Bar. You already raced him. You don't have to worry about this. You quote unquote you beat Mike, so you own Mike. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true.
There you go. All right, you heard it here first, chat. Arya owns Mike. But all jokes aside, they're now moving to a very fun set piece in the game. It's the emergency in Sector 3, where the sirens kind of catch you off guard for a first timer. You're going to have one of the few escape sequences in this game where you got to go. There's no, after this dialogue with Adam, there's just running and stopping the threat. And a lot of intricate movements about to show up here.
Yeah, I really like the emergency. It's, like you said, a lot of interesting movement. And just the fact that there's like a timer to beat on the screen is fun. There's a lot of ways you can optimize this emergency. It's just a nice portion of the game. And it's kind of like an exciting part before like a lull in the game. So our goal here is to go into the depths of Sector 3 as quickly as possible and stop the screen from flashing red.
Yeah, very annoying.
And collect the wide beam.
All right, so they're both...
Shmayd.
Oh, no,
That's
I see it. So Shmayd tried to set up, or I think he just stopped his speed boost a tad bit too short.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
He wanted to go through the the combo blocks immediately instead of running further to the right than necessary, but he just cut it short by, I would say, probably a few frames.
Yeah, but
So he did not activate the speed booster.
that looks like that cost him a good deal of at least the IGT. You know, or if you're not the IGT or the countdown, that's about 5 seconds, and that's big for this area in particular.
Yeah. Let's see. Timer. Yeah, that was not it. That is a significant time loss, but I mean, he's not that far behind. You know,
it's no run killer. Run killers are much worse in terms of run killers tend to happen with bosses. I feel.
Hopefully, he doesn't get many beams. It looks like Mike got one.
All right,
Shmayd got a couple.
All right, so a bit of a difference there, but overall, I think this is very makeable for the two.
So it looks like Mike hit one double on the core. Shmayd not getting that first double. He really could have used that. No doubles for Shmayd, actually.
Oof. So not a good emergency. At least
no.
Yeah.
Shmayd's looking for like a 430 something. Basically is acceptable. So to get like a 416 there's he's definitely not happy with that kind of emergency. Mike taking a dip in the lava.
Gotta stay warm somehow. That's another thing too, Baria. I've noticed, and maybe you've noticed this as well. Do you? I love running Fusion. Both of us obviously love it, but it's I think easier to run Fusion in the warm months because when my fingers are cold, it's awful. It is awful.
It is tough.
I am not a fan of it. Those hand warmers can only do so much, but it doesn't look like fingers or hands are bothering either of these two runners here as they continue to move on through. Obviously some mistakes, but again, even with the escape here, I mean, yeah, there's a bit more of a distance between the two runners now, but that lava pool for the most part was pretty good. I mean, could always be better, but let's see this climb by Shmayd here.
Made a mistake there. It looks like he is 15 seconds behind. 15? So all right. Definitely can come back from that.
But to think, we are about 40 minutes almost into, or actually over 40 minutes at this point, and the difference is 15 seconds. It's incredible. This is quite honestly, I think, now correct me if I'm wrong, this might be the closest race we've seen, at least up to this point.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
Next up is the lull that Bario was talking about. So essentially this convo that Adam is saying, Adam is telling Samus that there might be something that's not X on the station. So we're, I guess, Samus is
check it out
to investigate. Yeah, figure it out, Samus. You got a gun. If they're enemies, shoot them.
Yeah, this part of the game is... I mean, it's kind of nice to have like a break. It's right in the middle of the game. It's not really a break, but it's a lot slower paced. We take like 7.5 elevator rides. You know, go check out the animals and talk to Adam a whole bunch. So it's kind of a nice break. It's a pretty consistently timed segment. Like you're never generally, if you know you don't make a major mistake, you're not gonna lose or gain a lot of time on this segment.
Yeah.
In general, that's how I find it to go. Mike going for impossible strat, not getting it.
All right, that's gonna cost him a little bit of time.
He could make that jump, but he's just gonna wait it out.
Yeah, so that's gonna cost him a few seconds. We'll see how Shmayd hits it here. He also said, I guess in response to us, nothing past Varia is warm. Touche.
Yeah, he was practicing early game earlier, but couldn't get a run going.
Oh,
so
wow.
Looks like Shmayd's making up some decent time because he did. Oh no, he did not get the Giant Spark.
That ledge grab cost just enough time to ruin that, which is interesting because Shmayd probably would have, if not surpassed, probably matched the movement of Mike entirely up until this. because Mike, while he failed the impossible strat, he got that shine spark up the tunnel.
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly how that works out. Mike did wait for that enemy to unfreeze, so like I'm guessing the gap's probably about the same.
Yeah.
We can find out here.
He hits elevator at 43.27.
Yeah, okay, so like 13 seconds.
Yeah. But there you go. So runners are making minor mistakes, but the overall pace is still very competitive. And, you know, they're still in a bit of a quiet set during this run. Varia, this next segment, it's simple, but it does involve the SAX again, which if you're not careful can be deadly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. We've seen one runner die to the SAX in the tournament, actually, in Sector 5. So there is a potential for that. It's not hard to do that encounter, but if you stumble and make a decent mistake in that room, it can get kind of dangerous. Having to dodge and jump over the ice beams.
This is also, if I'm not mistaken, going to be when Shmayd gets that missile that Mike will now bypass, if I'm not mistaken, right? It will happen on this Sector 5 revisit.
Yeah, I think he gets it on the way out.
So this is Sector 5 Part 2. More to come. It's like the Hunger Games here. There's multiple releases. But what you're going to get here is another very brief entrance into Sector 5. I do appreciate the dialogue with the computer here. It literally gives you one box, says this is where it is in case you forgot.
Yep.
And then just go.
Mike going for the Shine Spark strat here, which is the fastest but hardest strat to pull off.
Got to hit the wall jump here.
He did hit the wall jump, but did the ledge grab version. I'm not sure how that works out.
It's probably not ideal.
Oh, Shmayd does get this missile on the way in, actually, I guess.
Okay. That was good movement overall. He avoided enemies and made that jump look rather smooth. So he's been telling me to do that strat for a while. Shmayd is a good friend, and he also is a mentor for me. And I stubbornly don't do some of these strats that he does, but the more I watch it, the more I'm like, I probably should. Except sack skip. Not doing that just yet. There's more time saved. Ugh.
Looking like an 18-second gap here. Here's the SAX encounter on Mike's screen.
All right, smooth into the tunnel for Mike. He escapes. Ooh, almost got hit there by that ice beam. Playing it close, but no hits. Thunder out here saying, once you do SAX skip, you never go back. I know. Both smooth SAX skips overall. And again, it's expected with these two. But, you know, under a tournament environment, it's always the simplest mistake that can occur. And, but I'm still happy to see that even at this point, there's a bit more of a distance. This race is still very close.
Yeah, so we're coming up on the next boss here, Yakuza. It's going to give us space jump. This boss is very RNG dependent. You can just lose or gain time depending on how the spider feels. It's really just nothing you can do. So it could be like it could act as like an equalizer in this race, or it could widen the gap even more. So I guess we'll see how this goes. This boss can definitely ruin good paces and also really strengthen a decent pace.
Absolutely. So both going up elevators here, and in the game story. Like there's power loss. Oh wow, Mike! It's a rare, not a crucial mistake, but he didn't shoot 5 times, so he had to bomb a block.
So you actually only have to shoot 4 times, and he shot 3.
See, the more you know, chat.
I said I'd correct you. So.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you, man. Listen, man, there's no. I am not perfect at this game. If y'all remember my race, you probably saw that. But
so see.
Let's see. Nice fall
Both
down.
Picking up the spitter hallway missiles. Neither one getting the bad RNG, where you get hit by the whatever goo the spitters are spitting. That can ruin your speed boost and lose you a good few seconds. So it's nice to see that not happen because it's very annoying. So I think Mike is going to lose about 5 seconds to Shmayd grabbing the Yakuza missiles. It's just what we call them because they're right before the boss. I don't expect Shmayd to pick them up.
If he does, it would essentially mitigate the time loss that Mike would have, but it would help Shmayd down the line from Notori. But
Right.
Shmayd has practiced Notori a good deal, so I wouldn't expect him to get it. Mike's coming up on the missile shortly. Just have to kind of dodge these space pirates. In this instance, it's best probably not to kill any of them, except maybe that one right there that Mike just killed.
Yeah, you do want to kill that one. I think that's the only one in this room that you do want to kill.
So Mike gets the missile, so he's at 50. Shmayd is approaching.
No beams for Mike.
All right. Shmayd, okay, yep, so as expected, Maria, you were right, he only has 45, and this is the big difference in their items now in the run. Hopefully, Shmayd could also get decent RNG with the Ghidorah here.
1 beam for Shmayd.
Alright, 1 beam, not bad.
Looking like a 4 round for Mike.
Yeah. No beams, 4 rounds is, I think, something I can handle. You get 4 beams, 4 rounds, might as well call it a day.
Yeah, Shmayd couldn't get the good RNG here. He got a 3 round.
Alright, so decent, not the worst. I mean, I tend to get a lot of 2 to 4 rounds. 1 rounds are the best, obviously, because you're not waiting as long.
Yeah, the round is like you'll see Yakuza kind of scroll, or not scroll, but crawl around the screen and then stop at the top of the screen. If he can do that just 1 time and then open his mouth, that's like ideal. And he can do that up to 4 times though, and you can lose a good chunk. So it looks like Shmayd's fight was pretty good.
Yeah, he gained some time here for sure, and I think
Yeah.
also the missile probably
So
helped
it
with
looks
that
like
as well.
the gap is only about 8 seconds now.
Those of you watching, this is golden. This is quite easily one of the better races we've seen, if not the best one.
Yeah, it has to be
This-
the closest
yes.
so far, right?
And we're almost approaching the hour mark. Like, we only have around 25-ish minutes left. Less, honestly, for these 2 runners before the game is over.
Shmayd's struggling with the weeds here.
Yeah, I hate this.
So we're doing the SAX encounter now, and it's not too difficult. If you really mess up, it can be detrimental though.
Smooth by Mike. He got through, and I expect the same here with Shmayd. Yeah. Overall, decent movement. We're going to pop by the world's most determined key hunter for a brief visit. It'll say hi. We'll avoid it. Nope, Shmayd was so fast, you didn't even see it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while.
Oh, my goodness. That goes to show you, I still see it, so I'm not moving fast enough in that room.
So
All
Mike
right.
getting that nice jump through the door,
Love
firing a buffered shot to the ceiling. Same with Shmayd. Now we got our favorite plant boss, Notori. Notori is my biggest point of struggle in this game right now because the doubles on the core are easily the hardest to me.
I can understand that. I think part of the reason, because these aren't so hard for me, but they were early on, and I think my biggest point of contention was the fact that the room, even though it's 2 tiles long, doesn't feel like it.
Ooh, Mike didn't get a missile shot in on that round.
And he's low on missiles too, so I think he should be...
Wow, Shmayd pulling ahead on the core fight. See, that I have, like, Mike Food core fights on this boss way too often.
What a turnaround.
Another lead change.
Look at chat. I'm telling you, you guys are in for quite the show. Hopefully it stays like this through the Omega Metroid. Amazing. Great. So now, instead of Shmayd being behind by a room and a half, Mike's now behind by about a room and a half. Let's see. I'm counting the second difference and the exit here. It's 6 seconds maybe, give or take.
Yeah.
It's really close still, so. Barrio, I'm curious. I forgot. What sector are we visiting next?
Yeah, Sector 5 again.
Oh, really? 5? Man, it's been so long. It's
Yep.
been way too long.
It's gonna look different this time, though. The next boss, Nightmare, has ravaged the sector. There's a lot of damage done on this visit that you'll see, but it allows us to do the longest shine spark in the game or the longest space boost in the game.
Did you expect either of them to do space boosts?
No,
Oh,
we will not be seeing that
man.
unless Mike has been secretly practicing it, which he is not.
Mario can confidently say that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see here. We're about to enter it.
So right off the bat here, they're gonna store a shine spark and then do a little hop off the ledge right at the beginning, and they're gonna avoid like an enemy projectile, because if you get hit by that, you lose your spark that you have stored. Walk into the next room, open the door, and shine spark. Shmayd missed it.
Oh, he got hit
which
by
is
the
a pretty
enemy.
rare mistake, but if Shmayd can get the backup, he's not going to lose too much time here.
All right,
We
so
can actually see a comparison.
Oh, this is going to be great.
So
He's
you can
still
see
ahead.
that Shmayd's actually still ahead, but he did, the gap is very small now.
Oh my goodness.
So that's a good example of what the backup does for you if you miss the initial trick.
Absolutely. Wow, this is incredible. So, as a result of hitting the backup, he lost a few seconds. Because Mike was able to hit, he gained time. And really, at this point, wow, it's going to be...
They are synced up.
Nightmare. This is beautiful. 56 minutes in, and there is no clear advantage here.
Wow. So we're coming up on Nightmare here. See if they can both get a good fight, hopefully. Shmayd getting extra beams. That's really...
ruining the
Oh,
fun. Look at
4
he's
beams.
4. Look at him. He's shooting missiles at that door in frustration.
Yeah.
That hurts.
That does hurt.
One of the things...
He probably lost about 6 seconds there.
Yeah.
On Mike.
Metroid is cruel when it comes to RNG, especially for some of these any percent categories. This is awful. But it's, again, not a run killer. Very close still.
Yeah. Looks like they both had acceptable openers. So Nightmare is going to do a predictable pattern. If you mess up your opener, Nightmare does a very strange pattern that you're not ready for. Shmayd had a good kill there.
That was close, because that was going to be the opposite rotation for Nightmare, which you don't normally want, am I right?
Yeah. No, you don't. But he kind of baited Nightmare into like the kill spot, or close to it anyways, and he got
2 doubles.
Missiles in when normally it would just be swooping around. You can manipulate Nightmare. Nightmare is entirely based on your position in the room. So they both kind of manipulated it in a way to kill it quickly, but both had different styles of the fight.
And from that point, it's about a 10 to 11 second difference, marking the entrance of that room where they just shine sparked. So it's still very close. Beautiful, almost a pristine drop in the lower sector 4 room by Mike. Let's see if Shmayd can hit this. Ideally, you don't want to get hit by any of these fish. You just want to flow smoothly down.
Yeah, pretty good for Shmayd.
Yes. He's going to gain a little bit of some time there because Mike hit at least 2 enemies, it looked like.
Now we're opening the red doors of our own free will, not listening to Adam.
That's fine. He's been a jerk to us anyways. It's fine. But in the game's dialogue, you actually get in trouble because of this, because you did something that you weren't told to do. But
right.
It's a rant for another day. Now that they have these red doors, they can navigate through lower sector 4, which, again, if you're listening to the soundtrack, by the way, of The Runner Who Is Live, it sounds quite nice. It's probably my favorite track in the entire game. It's
I would have to agree.
Very soothing. And so they're going to go and get the final upgrade for missiles here. It is an upgrade, though by sheer power alone, it is probably the weakest missile standalone. It does give a little bit of a firepower boost to the missile too.
I believe it's 5 damage extra. That's not much. So Mike, not having the cleanest escape here, took a good fair bit of damage. Looks like Shmayd had a cleaner escape and probably gained a good few seconds on Mike.
Counting that, so we enter the room at...
They were about 10 seconds apart before.
7 now. It's around
now.
7. Mm-hmm.
So yep, we got our diffusion missiles.
It's even less? Yeah, probably 6? Oh no, it's still 7. I forget there's a little bit of a lag before the melody plays. Wow.
So we're making our way over to Sector 6 again. Sector 6 is fun on this visit. You can optimize it a lot and go really fast here. Just a lot of cool movement and dealing with enemy patterns that I really like. Very satisfying to pull off all the tricks here.
One of my favorite tricks, I think, with this is, and it's early, it's easy, it's just space boosting through the first bat room, and then while maintaining that boost, shooting with R, or what we just call the R shot, to maintain that space boost through the first big room.
Oh
really
yeah,
fun.
I guess we didn't really explain R shots at all. So you can fire your charge beam while you're spinning in the air, or at any point if you press R to select your missiles. And it does not work if you have no missiles because you can't select them. But yeah, when you press R and you have a charge charged, it will fire and you will not break spin. So you'll just keep spinning and moving right along.
Just a little quick point here. Mike is going to get the X to farm back, but he took at least 4 different hits from these puffers. While Shmayd, he definitely took a few, but Mike had distance, and now they're back to within a room apart. And they're about to enter the arena. It's still very close, even into the, 3rd or 4th last boss in the game.
Yeah, this is crazy. So, we're coming up on the next boss here. It's the security robot again. Now it's infected by the X, so it's gonna drop us an upgrade of a wave beam, which is a hugely powerful upgrade, especially on Ridley. Oh no, it looks like Shmayd. I don't know what happened there. I was looking at Mike's screen.
Yikes! Yeah, that definitely cost him a little bit of time.
Yeah, that's really not good for Shmayd at all.
Did he? It looked like he missed the spring ball. Is that what happened? So he couldn't.
Likely.
All right.
I'm guessing he hit the ceiling before the breakable ceiling, like the crumble blocks there.
Yeah.
That's my guess. That's not good.
Because now it's about 10, 11, 12, 13, about 15 seconds now is the difference here. So it's minor, right? To the average runner or to the average fan, you might not think, okay, he just missed it, but you got to be as pristine as possible in some of these rooms to have the ideal time save, and any small little mess might not be a big deal, but it does lose a big time, especially in a race of these two in their very close skill level. So
yeah, there's a lot of things in this game where if you're just a little bit off, you're gonna take a big time loss. That's one example of that. I've done that before. It doesn't feel good.
absolutely, I think my biggest one nowadays. My biggest one is the segment that we're about to enter, the Sector 1 revisit, the sector that we've been avoiding since the beginning of the game. But yeah, it's not hard, but you do want to have to kind of ideally move through that next sector, and we're about to enter it. mikefood getting out with an explosion of around 105.05 of the restricted labs, and Shmayd, yeah, about to eject the station as well.
Yep, so that was the restricted sector. It's gone now.
And so are the Metroids, for good this time, we think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. There's not much to that section.
Yeah.
It's just couple movement things, and then the Metroid room where you have just 1 minute to escape. We usually get out in about 5 seconds though. So.
All right, so here's the final, it's the final sector visit before we go into the end game phase of this run.
Sector 1, Part 2.
Yep. Nice move in here, avoiding the rippers. mikefood getting a nice diffusion shot, freezing the ones he needed to freeze. Shmayd's about to enter the room as well.
So we're gonna have to deal with the Golden Space Pirates. Hopefully both runners have a decent room here with the Space Pirates. This room can kind of snowball. It's not super hard, but you can definitely lose some time there if you're not real precise.
Looked pretty good for Mike there. He missed one shot on the Golden Pirate, but
yep,
recovered.
He recovered it well. Shmayd had a really good room.
Yep. And if you notice, before they go into Ridley, you have to shoot these pirates from behind. But I guess the way the game works, if you turn around while the wave beam is making contact with the enemy from the front, it essentially counts, and we can dive into the science on that later as they're now right into Ridley. But it worked out very well.
Yeah, so with Ridley, the idea is you want to fire charge shots and then like a missile right after each one. And you want the charge shots to be diagonal and through the middle of Ridley's hitbox, because the wave beam on Ridley does damage per frame. The longer that beam is traveling through Ridley, the more damage you can do. So you can really make quick work of this boss by killing it in I believe 11 to 12 shots. I think 11's optimal. 12 is pretty common to see.
And now they're attempting doubles here. Shmayd missed the last 3, but still very close. Both had, it looked like, clean fights. The cores left a little bit to be desired with, of course, the doubles, but gotta say,
yeah, those doubles are hard because the way the missiles work is the cooldown on the missiles gets longer the more upgrades you get. So like regular missiles you can fire at a much higher rate than say diffusion missiles. So that just makes the doubles that much harder.
Yes, especially with the final core that we'll fight, which is an I core or beam core. So you have a very small window to work with. But for these runners, they're probably going to hit it. We'll get to that in just a bit. They're exiting Sector 1 now. Excuse me. Choking on air. Apologize for that. Mike is going through a pirate room, exiting, kind of going back through the stabilizers, which, if you recall, were in the very beginning of the game. So now a sector which was not necessarily hard, but they had to be careful with, a lot easier. Mike trying to go for the shot cancel strat, and he did mess up, by the way.
Shmayd going for the same strat and actually messing it up in the same way, pretty much. It's not, so they're not that far apart still.
They really aren't.
Even though we're closing in on the very last part of the game here. If, Mike messes up on the SAX, there's actually huge potential for major time loss there. So it could go either way. But it's looking like if Mike just, does the strats somewhat normally, he'll have a pretty comfortable lead.
Mm-hmm. This is the longest dialogue in the game. Samus actually talks back to Adam because she's sick and tired of his nonsense. So he'll lock her into the navigation room because the Federation doesn't want her killing the SAX, but she says, no, I'm too powerful for that. Convinces the computer. And after a brief touching dialogue, which we can get to in another time, Adam's like, okay, you know what? You're free. Here's what you got to do. We want you to take this spaceship and fling it into the planet and detonate the planet and the spaceship, which in theory should kill all of the X-parasites, which are the reason for Metroid fusion in the first place. So they're trying to essentially kill the bad guys in one foul swoop. So Samus is going to go to the very top of this station and have the ship be essentially guided like a nuke toward this planet.
So it's looking like an 8-second gap here.
Do you think Shmayd can pull it off, Baria? If doubles or maybe
yeah, I mean, if Shmayd were to have like a really good fight and Mike were to mess up the doubles, there could definitely be a lead change there, or a sync up. And then of course there's low height. That'll save, I believe, about 2 seconds. Mike making a little stumble there. Looks like Shmayd's gained a few seconds on Mike.
He has. The movement here is really good. All right,
I'm
so
not mistaken.
Yeah, they're entering this final arena now. Mike's about to enter the elevator. Shmayd is just a room and a half behind him.
Yeah, about 6 seconds. So the SAX fight, the goal is to kill it in 4 shots. You freeze it, hit it with the charge beam diagonally, and then refreeze it. 4 or 5, I would say, is a good fight.
All right, Mike's got 3, 4, 5 shots on it. All right, Shmayd's at 2, 3, 4, 5. This is close. All right.
Mike kind of messing up the second
didn't get a
phase.
2-shot. Let's see if Shmayd can 2-shot this then. He does. Oh, what? Pay attention, chat. This is going to go down to the wire if this... Oh, my goodness. Let's see how these cores
Oh, my
go.
God.
Shmayd is actually
Just a
connecting
couple
with you.
seconds.
This is incredible, chat.
What, 1
Watch
second?
1, maybe 2 seconds into the final set piece of the game.
Oh, no.
Here we go. This is going to be the most thrilling ending of the tournament. Oh my.
And just like that, they're like synced up pretty much.
Yep. Photo finish.
Probably
This is
about
what we get.
a quarter of a second.
Yep.
Or half a second.
Man, Bario, we chose the perfect race to compensate. I'm just
This
saying.
is crazy.
All right.
I cannot believe that.
Let's see how they do with their diag or their zigzags and see if either of them can hit low height, because that could make the difference.
Oh, Shmayd not getting the zigzag. Still, this is potentially decided by low height.
All right, let's see.
Both of them grabbing some ledges.
Oh, they're nervous. Oh, this is incredible. It's literally about a second, maybe less. All right.
Neither one hits low height.
All right, they get close.
This is crazy.
It's amazing. All right, here we go.
So the Omega, we're gonna do a quick kill. Both of them should get it. It's pretty easy once you know what to do. You should basically at this level never ever mess this up. So I guess we'll
see
what happens.
All right, here it comes. SAX.
See who has a better mash.
Who's got the better trigger finger? Chat, it's coming down to the wire. All right, here we go. And
looks like Mike's got it. Just barely.
oh, just
about
barely
1
a finish.
second.
What an incredible finish. Oh,
my
Shmayd says it
goodness.
on the chat too. It did look like there was a delay with the smash. That is amazing. This race is going to go down as 1:14:49, 1:14:51. 2 seconds.
Jeez.
What?
Oh my god.
Oh, Shmayd's like, invite me to chat. We got to talk. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'll send him the link.
Yeah,
right
send them
now.
the invites. I got to hear from both of y'all.
man.
You guys, Shmayd, mikefood, GG. What an incredible race. I don't know if they were watching the restream. We're about to find out. Wow, Baria gets those invites out. Good game to both of you, and of course, we'll talk more about it. That is the best finish we've had of the tournament so far.
Let's see, where is it? Oh, here it is.
Within 2 seconds. So many lead changes. Wow.
That's crazy.
Incredible. All right, so I'm gonna, let's see here. There's a way to mark the winner here, if I'm not mistaken, right, Baria? I'm being bad at the internet again.
Oh, yes.
Added at 1:14, Shmayd, because you're incredible at the game, my guy. Same with you, mikefood. Good job. All right, Shmayd is about... All right, Shmayd, talk to us, buddy. That was incredible. That was the best finish I've seen in a race ever.
I messed up my Omega mash. I missed a double on I missed a double on Ice Core by like a tiny bit. Because I missed my input like just before hitting the core. So I guess if I got that double, I'd have won.
Oh,
Maybe.
man, we
Maybe.
both choked Sax real bad.
Yeah, those cores
What?
were interesting.
I think I
Like,
got
what?
one double. It was bad.
Yeah, I had a decent sax fight, but I messed up Omega as well.
When I went to
got
do the straight shot, I just didn't shoot it. So I
Oh,
just shoot him 3 times, and I only got one double.
What happened with your run for us to tie? Because I had some huge mistakes. Or was it just shafted by RNG?
My RNG was like whatever. I got a 3 round. I mean, I didn't play great. Oh, I messed up Impossible strat and lost like 10
yeah.
seconds.
Yeah, you
Oh,
waited.
really?
for the
I had to
effect
just sit
there.
there and wait.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know how I won 14
for
with that.
stretchy to unfreeze there. There were like 6 or 7 lead changes. Like
Yeah,
Really?
you were
It's
never
that
more than
close.
15 seconds apart. And you just traded the lead over and over.
Yeah. For
Um,
instance,
This wasn't too bad a run up until that mistake in wide beam. And then from there it kind of collapsed a bit. Pulled it back a bit at Notori. And then I messed up at Nightmare and
That's
Boss.
Yeah.
oh yeah, my plasma core was horrible.
That was
really?
That's
one of
what it was,
bigger
yeah.
lead changes where Shmayd made up a really decent gap just on that core fight.
Yeah, I had a really good plasma segment, 219.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my plasma
And then
segment was a 233.
Look
Not
at the hell.
bad.
Hey, that still
Yeah.
saves time on my PB.
You know what's cool, and I hope you guys, I don't know if you noticed it during the race, but Shmayd, you missed the spark into Nightmare.
Oh yeah, you
Mike
did.
hit it, but you backed up so perfectly that you were.
Oh yeah, we were like
you did a
perfectly in
second
sync. I
arc.
saw
It
that.
was
'cause
Really?
It was
I was
a
in-
really good comparison of the backup versus hitting the strat because Mike was like maybe 5 seconds behind at that point,
Yeah.
and then after it, he was like 2 seconds behind or
Well,
something.
he also Shmayd did the slower backup. He didn't do the door one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna go for that one, but when I grabbed the ledge, it was like, okay, no, I don't want to set this up now. Oh, not the ledge, the
Right.
ladder. Because I just didn't want to go for it at that point.
Yeah.
So I just backed up the other way. I also got 4 beam. I had a really good 2 exit after plasma. I got the deboost spark, but then Sector 5 is terrible. I got 4 beams at Nightmare as well. Again, funny enough, that happens too.
Yeah.
I think I got one
Versus-
beam. I ended up getting a gold. I think
Oh,
by
really?
yeah, it was like a half-second gold.
Not
Yeah,
bad.
I had 2 golds in that run. One of them was pretty huge. I got 243 on diffusion segment, which is kind of mad.
I got
Well,
a
705 sack segment with the absolute mess of an escape.
what'd you get for diffusion?
So 243. So I knocked my summer best down to 112.31.
Okay, I got a 238.
Yeah.
Bad.
Dude, I got a 2 beam 11 jumps as Arby. That was very funny.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
I think I got 1 in 6, 1 in 7. It wasn't bad.
My luck wasn't great. I got like
Well,
a
I think-
beam on most doors. I think only Ridley and Plasma didn't give me beams. I want to say. Oh, and Arachnus, but I got double roll at Arachnus, so that kind of
Yeah.
balances out.
So
I think
what
I got
was-
1 on Arachnus, and I got I got like 5. I got a lot on charge.
Hmm. I can't.
I'm pretty sure you had no beams.
But
Well, you didn't hit the double.
I had 1 beam on charge, but I didn't get punished for missing the double because I got the beam at the very start.
Mhm.
And then I think Zazabi 2 beam 11. I think Ceres was 1 beam. Varia was also a beam. That was
think I got-
Oh my god, that was a 457 Varia segment with a beam.
I think I got 1 beam with what I get. Yeah, I definitely got a beam at Varia with a what I get 452.
What's this
Yeah.
against my PB? I think I'm like plus.
Yeah, no, I got
plus
a
30.
458. Yeah, I was
Ooh.
plus 20, so it was like an okay run.
Yeah, I finished plus 30. Not too bad. Considering what happened in emergency, I didn't think this would have 114 after emergency and nightmare. But
Oh, I saw it. You sparked up into the air.
Yeah, I mean, these were both really good race runs, at least.
Yeah.
You know, for no
Yeah, for a
reset.
race
I
run, yeah.
mean, both
This-
high 114s.
this beats my last race time as well. This is my new race PB.
Not
Yeah.
bad.
Congrats.
I think I got a 114 or 49 in my last race.
That would
I'm
be incredible
pretty
if that's
sure.
the case,
I need to
yeah.
go back and look. I am
Yeah.
pretty sure on that. Because it was a
That's-
4x.
That's pretty
47.20.
consistent.
Wait, let me go look. What was it streamed on? I don't remember.
Yeah, I had a pretty meh. I keep having this issue in early game where I have a couple of good segments and then I just have segments which lose like 15 seconds or 10
Mhm.
seconds in between them. So I
Yeah.
never get a good enough pace through early game. The only time I was ahead here was Varus doing that was by 2 seconds. But then again, that was like 8 seconds slower than my best pace there.
Mhm.
How did I
Yeah.
114 this run? This run was a mess. that emergency mistake was so stupid.
Which
I
one
com-
was the bigger mistake that you feel? Was it animals or was it the?
Nah, animals only lost me about 4 seconds.
Okay.
Emergency lost me. That mistake lost me 10 seconds, and then sparking lost me another 3. I did try and have a really good emergency. I actually still had a good emergency after that mistake, but then I got 3 beams there. So so all my hard work trying to bring that back didn't even go for anything, and I missed the doubles. So emergency was definitely my biggest mistake then. Followed by nightmare. Oh, actually, maybe box 2 was a bigger mistake than nightmare.
So yeah, what happened
Mostly
there?
RNG. I didn't springboard through the door properly like I normally do, so I didn't know what was going to happen with my position and what I was going to do. So I wasn't sure how I wanted to springboard. So I decided to try landing, moving a little bit, and then springballing, and then I think I overshot where I was where I wanted to springball and just ended up going all over the place. Didn't know how to back it up. So I just waited to see what box did, and then tried to get it back to hitting the wall, so I could just do the normal fight again.
No, I got a 37 my last race, so it was even better. I'm actually surprised by that.
Yeah, I usually have really rocky race runs.
I gotta say, we were both really happy that both of you hit the SAX skip. No hesitation.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, we had gentlemen agreed on it.
No less. There you go.
Yeah, we gentlemen agreed on doing it. When I did it, when I did mine, I got to the lift for the cutscene. I checked on the replay, and I saw someone doing sack skip, and then I saw someone else doing sack skip very, very soon after, and I got it, and I forgot which side was which. So it's like I was waiting to see what had happened to the right side, and I saw the hand cam in the top left, and I was like, "Oh, okay, Mike got his sack skip, so this race is."
I was in a call with Monkey and Sky the whole time, and they were like, "Oh, Shmayd's gonna die."
Wow. Calling you guys out.
I almost died in Sector 1. That was very.
Yeah, I know.
funny.
You had 23 health at one point.
I missed the fall. So I was just like, all right, let me just drop down. And funnily enough, there were 4 pirates on the wall instead of 3, so I got hit by 4 of them.
Yeah,
I got hit by 3.
Like 23, I think. HP
Yeah,
at that point.
I wasn't worried at that point because I already knew what my I already had my plan on how to keep alive there.
Yeah.
That was actually, even with that mistake, that was still not too bad at this segment.
Yeah,
was
the Idor was kind.
Yeah, Idor was really kind. But by that point, I had 63 health, so it's like, Idor was kind. But also, I still played it pretty decently. Like, this run was like just a mix of really good play and just... It was half of the segment was good, half of the segment was bad, so I couldn't get any really good segment times. The only good ones were like, the only good one was diffusion, like all the way through was diffusion.
Yeah,
Maybe
I was
Barrier as well.
pretty all over the place. Like Nightmare was good, and then other than that, like that's kind of really it. It was like the only like really good split.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, my chart. I think my bombs was good. Yeah, no, my morph was good because I had a 418 morph time.
Shmayd, were you watching the restream?
Nah, I peeked on it a couple of times.
Okay.
After box 2 and during the cutscene as well, I had a look and I saw me entering the restricted area. The top part of Mike was in the Metroid, so I was like, okay, this race is really close. What the hell even after that? How am I still so close?
Yeah, it was just...
Remember when I was doing the space jump stuff, I just dropped one and then just fell. I just lost like 3 seconds.
Oh man. Yeah.
But yeah. Any final thoughts, notable things that you want to talk about?
I own Shmayd.
Fair enough.
That race had me very angry.
I don't know about that one.
You see,
Better PB cry.
I have a 46 though, so okay.
That's true.
Yeah, Mike left a 114 OX to 46. So funny. He'll bop me RTA and he'll be like 5 seconds behind IGT.
Of course.
Alrighty. Well, that was a crazy race. That was awesome.
That was
So
a lot
Best
closer than
race
I
of
ever
the
thought.
thanks for the race. That was
Yeah.
that was amazing.
You do. That was a great race.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Made it better because I didn't lose. It would have sucked if I lost, then the race would have been
Yeah,
bad.
no. If I won with the run I had, I would have been absolutely shocked. I think I actually dead on tied my average as well, which is really
I
funny.
think I was slightly. What's my? I was like 6 ahead of my average.
Yeah, my average was 114.51 before this race, so that's really funny.
But yeah, I think we should probably wrap it up here. GG's to both of you.
was
Thanks,
fun,
Flash,
Mike.
for commentating with me.
Of course, it was a pleasure. Hoping to do another one later this week. This is fun. I like talking about Fusion, sometimes more than playing it. So
Yeah. But yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for everybody for watching. And
yes, chat. Make sure you give these two a follow. Shmayd and mikefood on Twitch. They're great runners on Fusion and other games as well. Myself and Baria as well. I have to apologize to my dear friend Baria. It should be a B, not a V there on the title.
That's
on me.
okay.
Make sure you follow Baria as well. And the next tournament race, at least what we have scheduled, seems to be. Now, there's probably going to be some beforehand, but at least the next one that I can see confirmed here will be Monkey SMB against Bench Juice Friday evening at 5 p.m. Eastern. There will be other races likely before then as well, but make sure you
Didn't that
tune
race
in.
already
Yeah,
happen?
that's happened.
Did that already happen?
happened.
Oh, it did. I
Mhm.
can't read the bracket. I am sorry, Monkey. You already.
Yeah, I don't think there are any races
Ah.
scheduled yet, but I'm sure that we're gonna have some this week. I'll be racing likely on Friday.
I'll probably try to do my race against Gemini early in the week. So if you want to watch me get bopped, we'll be here as well.
But yeah, all right. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for the race.
Have a great time, and
Have a
we'll
great
see
night.
you for the next one.
Yep.
Goodbye.